How's it going, everyone? Hopefully you're all doing well. Today we're going to take a look at the T77. Now this is only available in loot boxes at the moment. I do not agree with it at all. It's stupid in my opinion. The only way to get them is through this. Now you can get them for free technically if you go and stream snipe or join the game at the same time as World of Tanks, the official World of Tanks channel. They'll be using them with the WT Alpha E220 because as you can see, this is the E110. I believe maybe CCs and other people will be able to play this later on, but at least the only place at the moment that I've seen is World of Tanks official channel. Then they'll have like another one here which is called the Waffenträger Alpha E220 rather than E110. So that is the only real way of you being able to get them for free, is to be able to kill that tank. But you're going to have to be able to kill that in game, and it's not easy, but with a group of 3 then it's possible. It's entirely possible. However, if you don't want to do that and you think, oh yeah, let's just spend some money on loot boxes and get this tank and get this thing, no, don't. If you're trying to get this out of the loot box, do not do it. It's not worth it. Like, I only done it because I'm stupid, okay? Like, I got this on the 3rd box, right? And I got stupidly lucky to be able to do that. For you, it might take 200, it might take 300 boxes. Like, it's not worth it to try and get this tank. This tank is not an OP vehicle. It is not like the Progetto or anything like that. And honestly, it's got an abysmal DPM. Like 1.6 is super bad. Yes, you can do about 1,100 if you get lucky with this gun over the course of like what, 6 seconds. But it's got a 35-second reload in between that. Like 35 seconds, you might think, oh, that's not that long. It is. This thing, you are sitting out of action for so long. It's just, it's not good. It's not good in that respect. Sure, once you'd finished, then you can do, 1,000 damage, but it's not the best tank. That's what I'm trying to say. If you want to spend your money and you want a premium tank that's still American, get the T76E5. This thing is better. It is more worth it. Yeah, it's just, this thing is very good. If you want a Liberté, then you can go here and get that. I mean, yeah, it's up to you what you do with your money, but at the end of the day, that's what I would do if you really want a premium tank right now. Okay, so let's compare this to some other tanks, shall we? So right down here, I have got it compared to basically all the other heavy tank autoloaders that are competitive or, make sense within this. The T79's there. I know it's not a heavy tank, but it is in the same tech tree, kind of, if you know what I mean. As you can see, 360 Alpha is the joint highest along with the ML1, and it has the joint highest pen along with the 5100 and the somewhat SM, or the good old Samosa as I like to call it. Rate of fire and the reload time is just abysmal. The thing about the reload time is that you are out of action for a long old time. And 3 shells for this long, it just feels like you're being robbed. Especially when the Samosa gets 36 seconds reload, which is 2 seconds less than you, gets 5 shells, so it has a higher potential clip damage, and gets roughly the same intra-clip reload. Like, it's like they forgot that the Samosa actually exists. The Samosa is honestly probably a better pickup than this tank. At the moment, if you're going to get a premium tank and you could decide, Samosa over this any day. So yeah, it also gets more gun depression and the same gun elevation, so yeah. I mean, just look at it in comparison to the 5100. The 5100 gets it gets a long reload time for the extra 1 shell that it gets. What is happening here? Did they just forget that the samosa, like, actually exists and the 5100 exists? Because, like, if you look at the 5100 and then compare it to the samosa, why does it take 12 seconds longer to load one extra shell? Good job, Wargaming. Your balancing department at its finest again. So yeah, this reload time really does need to be knocked down. Knocked down to a stage where it's on similar DPM to the Somwa. Because you're probably getting sick of me saying samosa by now. But, you know. I would say around about 2k DPM and you've got yourself a decent tank. Even about 1.8, 1.9 and it's good. Because at the moment 38 seconds or 35 when it's fully equipped. It's so long to get 3 shells. It's got the joint best dispersion with 5100 hit points. It does have the most along with the samosa, so there's that. Armor wise, the armor's weird. Okay, lower plate and upper hull is unpennable for anything below 200 pen. It's very troll. Well, it's not unpennable. It's like a 50-50, right? Because you can high roll the pen. It's very well angled, as you can see here, and it curves around as well. So you're going to have a tough time trying to pen this kind of area. But you see this lip here, this whole kind of double chin thing? Just shoot that, right? Because that's about 150 millimeters thick. And even if he tries to turn his tank away to try and angle his turret, you're still going to be able to shoot it. So this here, this kind of like bulge around here, just shoot that. It will go through almost 100% of the time, especially if you... Even the tier 6 tank can shoot at this and probably pen. But yeah, don't ever go up here. It's just not worth it. If you do actually have high enough pen, you can shoot straight through the gun, which is quite funny. But why would you shoot through the gun when you could literally just shoot here? So, armor of this thing is good enough for lower tiers, but as soon as you reach anything above your tier, it's just going to be non-existent. Speed and power and all of that, it's just not good, honestly. It's not good comparison to any of these. Sure, you do get a specific power to weight of 14, which is okay. But like it's no way a 5100. You're not going to have the top speed of a 5100. I mean, you do get 48, but again, it's not super fast power to weight, so you're going to take a while to actually get there. And this thing only goes 12 backwards. 12 kilometers an hour backwards is awful. Like, this is so bad. If you're trying to retreat out of a situation, you're going to be sitting there for a long time. So yeah, I don't know why this is so bad, but it is, and that's how it is at the moment. I can see this tank getting a little bit of a buff, honestly, because the way that this thing's been introduced into the game at the moment is... It's like, why would you waste money on boxes trying to get this tank, right? When you could just wait for the Somwa SM to come into the premium store and just buy that. Or you can go right now and just go and get a T77 like I said. It's just not really worth it, as you can see. It even gets subpar kind of view range at 370. If this thing had 390 or 400, then it would be pretty good. But no, it doesn't. So that means that you are going to have to use coated optics if you do want to get over that 445 view range. But, I mean, overall, you know what? This isn't like a super bad tank. Yes, I've been very critical of it, but it's not a tank that is just completely useless, right? It's a good tank, but it's not the be-all and end-all of premium tanks, right? It is not the pinnacle of the heavy tank in World of Tanks. And thank God it's not, because the only way to get it is loot boxes. So, yeah, there's that. Let's now jump into a few games, and I'll show you what it's like in game. Just one more thing before we do get into the games. I did play one game in this tank. I do have the mastery badge. and we got 3.9k damage. This was... I will show you this game afterwards, but we're going to play one game live just to kind of show you exactly how it is. And, you know, if we get a bad game, then I can obviously show you a good game afterwards, right? Free RT, we are the only tier, but again, free RT is not going to be very good to us. I have the 2412 loadout. I wouldn't recommend you even bother loading HE in this thing. It's just not really worth it. It just has the reload time's too long. By the time that you choose to load a shell, the tank that you thought that you were going to be fighting might already be dead or run away. Like, that's how long the reload time is on this thing. So, yeah, just take that into consideration. Don't bother with HE on this tank. It's just not worth it. So, yeah. But as you can see, it's not super slow. It definitely isn't a 5100. Let's just make that completely clear, because this thing, yes, it's overtaking stuff, but like, we're only overtaking a Tiger P. Like, that thing was never an F1 car. Like, it's just not a fast tank. However, it does seem that they fixed the engine sounds, thank goodness, because it took them long enough. If you didn't know, at the start of this patch, there was no engine sounds, which was interesting. But what we can do here, apparently, is miss. Okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to try and get behind this bit of cover from this rock. We're going to go back. We're going to go and get unspotted, and we're also going to become unstunned. Okay. You know what? This is not a good plan, to be honest. But as soon as I get shot, I'm going to fire. I'm conscious of what's to my left. I keep checking the minimap. I haven't been spotted again, though. Screw it. Okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go back because... Oh, are we though? Put one into him. I'm going to take one from the Tiger 2 maybe. Oh no, we're okay. We're okay. I need to be careful of the RT. That's my main worry at the moment. My main worry is artillery. And as you can see, we've still got half our reload to go. And there's artillery. Gun handling on this tank isn't that bad. We got unlucky with the first two shots. But overall, the gun handling isn't completely useless, to be honest. Alright, we're going to med that. And what we're going to do is go back so we can see slightly through this if he peeks me. Oh, this map and this map with a free RT is just a bit shit, really. Okay, well, we got lucky there. And we're going to go for the reload. And at the same time, the Tiger's going to be doing that, so we're just going to take one from him. We're going to run away because it's not worth it to sit there anymore. It's just really not. We're going to try and get up and around and see if we can kill this KV-122 at the same time. But as you can see, we're still on a reload. This reload really is very long for what you get out of the magazine. Maybe we can spot this KV. And we need to reload again, and we might die to artillery. But there's nothing I can do about it, because this is just the way the map's designed. It's just not really heavy tank friendly. Oh my god, really? Okay. Well, there's also an SU-152 up there. So, there you go. There's nothing I could do in that game. I was the only person that got a kill on my team. Yeah. There's nothing you can do in those situations. And as you can see, the reload time is so long. And when there's artillery, it just makes the tank completely useless. At least with the T77 Heavy, right, and the T69, you get that faster, faster reload time, so that you can actually stay in one spot. Whereas with this, you're going to have to be right at the back of the map or something if you actually want to be competitive in it. Or in a map where you're not going to get shot by artillery all the time, and in a safe enough spot where the enemy can't push into you. So yeah. I mean, to be fair, it wouldn't have mattered what tank I was in. If I was in a single shot tank, sure, I would have done more damage. 100%. But we still would have lost the game. And there is nothing that I could have done to make myself have more damage apart from just run away and sit at the back of the map. Which is, like, I'm not going to do that for a YouTube video, to be honest. But yeah, there you go. We came, like... The fact that I'm top on damage with 1,200 just says everything, okay? The matchmaker is just broken at the moment, okay? Free artillery is just... It makes heavy tanks completely obsolete, right? Whoever has the artillery that focuses the heavy tanks is going to win. Our artillery did nothing. Quite literally did nothing. Like, I don't understand how you do that on this map when literally everyone was spotted on top of the hill. I just don't get it. I just don't understand. Like, the S51, he was shooting the hill. Look at him. He done all of this damage from the safety of behind a hill. So, yeah. I just don't understand how the matchmaker can be this unbalanced in nowadays World of Tanks. And how long did that game last? Well, 4 minutes for me. 5 minutes 30 was the total time. Went well. Anyway, I'm going to show you an actual good game now. Yes, what a great map this is. If you don't know why I don't really like this map too much, then basically this side of the map is just useless because you get shot from over here when you're trying to actually peek this, and if you try and do it from the other side, there's nothing to stop you from peeking this, apart from artillery. And artillery in this game, there is only one, so it's kind of nice. I'm not gonna lie, this is how matchmaking should be. One light tank, one RT, should be a few more heavy TD, sorry, and a few less heavy tanks, but there you go. And maybe for the most balance, then you can use the, you can have 2 light tanks as well. But as you can see, we missed the first shot, and we've hit the second. We're now going to try and aim for the 112, but like, it's like, that's a very slim chance of actually even being able to hit him. Even if this tank was like, insanely accurate, right? But as you can see, we have begun the long reload of the 35 seconds. Now, I'm not entirely sure what my team's doing at this point, to be honest, and I know for a fact that most people don't know what the reload time is on this tank. I mean, to be fair, that T77 is probably just sitting there reloading, right? Because if you don't use food on this tank and you don't have like the bounty stuff, it's gonna take forever. Put one into the Promo Victoria. He's going to be crossing, trying to get a better angle on people. T34 tries to peek. Nope, that's not allowed, T34. We're going to wait. We held the shot. We could have fired earlier, but we're going to wait. And sometimes that's the best thing you can do with autoloaders, right? Is just wait and hold that shot, waiting for the next enemy and the next kind of good position. It's not always useful to take those chancy shots. Especially with autoloaders. But I mean, as you can see with this reload time, like, you could literally go and make a cup of tea and come back, right? You could go downstairs, flick the kettle on, come back upstairs. It would have probably just finished reloading at that point, maybe. Which probably still got like 15 seconds left. But then you come back, you do your damage, you go for your next reload, you put your cup of tea, your tea bag in your mug, you know, you make a cup of tea, come back up, and it's just reloaded. So, I mean, the tank's good in that respect, I suppose. You know, keeping the British people in mind. Well done, Wargaming. You know, you're really thinking about us Brits, right? We love a good cup of tea. And obviously this tank is designed around tea. So, therefore, they were just thinking about us. Now, that 112, I'm pretty sure he doesn't know that I have 3 shells, right? Because he's still there looking and waiting. If he knew that I was completely reloaded right now, then he would have just picked around the corner already. I don't know what was going on there, but it looked like he went through the building. And I'm still reloaded. At this point, I'm like, how is this guy allowed to do this? Right? Because there's an IS-3 and a 703-2 just... I don't even know. Yeah, the 112's armor is very good. It is a very strong tank. And we make sure that we permatrack him. We get unlucky that we didn't actually, you know, go through him. But the IS-3 has woken up. And since then has decided to shoot the 112. So we get a little bit of assistance damage there on the tracks. In this position, I was trying to make it so that it's very, very hard for the 112 to actually pen me if he does come around the corner. And this is what I'm saying about the armor. If you have below 200 pen, which the 112 has 186, it's going to be a hard time to try and pen this tank. If you don't shoot it in where I've said, you know, like the little double chin kind of area. So, yeah. We're just trying to make sure that we can really maximize our armor out of this tank. And again, every single shot that you miss in this thing, you really feel it. You really do, because it's such a long time to reload. You know, like, sometimes you could actually be at the start, get to a heavy tank position, and you still haven't reloaded. So yeah, it's as you can see there, 112's armor, you know, against 230 pen, and we're above him as well. So it's gonna be kind of easier for us to pen him, but even then, it's not. You know, we don't have a 100% pen chance, and was even just flat out just not going to happen. Right here, you see that I'm loading premium. We can overmatch the top of the 112. So we make sure that we do that. We'll put one into the IS-6. We hopefully the IS-3 will get out of the way. Then we can put another one in. And now we're loading heat for this 112. Because I know I cannot really reliably pen him with AP. So we're going to load heat. Unfortunately, he dies. And I was thinking at this point, oh, do I just switch back and just, you know, get the free APCR rounds back just for the faster shell velocity? But, you know, it's only 3 rounds. I was loading a bit more gold rounds in this, because I didn't really know how the gun would behave, right? And honestly, the gun handling surprised me quite a bit, to be honest. It's not like the gun handling on the Emil 1951, which I didn't actually put in the comparison. But it's not really the same as the Emil 1. The Emil 1's better than the 1951, or whatever it is. We're just going to wait here, right? I know the Barras will get impatient and want to try and spot me again, and then I'll just wait. He can then just poke up, I'll kill him, right? That's my plan. And sure enough, spotted. We just wait. The Barras will probably fire. And there we go, he missed, we kill him. Just patience, that's all. That's sometimes all you need in modern tanks, just a little bit of patience. I believe we go for the reload, yep. And as you can see, right, we're reloading. Let's just see what I can do while this reloads. I know that there's 2 T77s remaining and a Tiger 2. As well as that, there's also an artillery. So I know that at least 1 T77 is over there, right? And I know that the other 2 are around here. So I'm thinking, okay, well, wait, They're probably still around here, right? Maybe there's one that's over there, but like, I'll risk it, right? I will go along here and try and get an angle to shoot these people on. Because chances are, right, we're capping, they're going back to base. Sure enough, right? It wouldn't make sense if they were going up here. But I mean, let's be honest, this is World of Tanks, and this is an online game. And people do some very strange things in an online game. But the correct play would be go back to base and, you know, stop the cap. So yeah, we're going to try and go around. I know the T77's there. I haven't been spotted by him, so he's obviously not on the actual perch. So we're going to go around the back of him, see if we can get some shots. But yeah, so we spot T77. The other T77. Tiger 2. Oh, almost. The dream clip. We almost get three kills in the clip. If we weren't if we had got APCR there, we probably would have actually done it, right? Because the shell velocity is faster. The shell velocity on this tank is 1.1, 1.14 and an 850 for the heat rounds, which is reasonable. It's about average, I would say. 1.2 around there is about average for APCR. But yeah, can we get the final kill on the artillery? Yeah, easy. But yeah, right here, I'm just going to pause it for a second, right? The game's over anyway. Right here, someone says, how's the T77, right? And it also just said, let's cap for mission, please. Okay, I wish I'd actually let him cap because those missions are just stupid. But I said, it's okay, long reload though, right? This other guy says it's a bit broken with a full mag. I don't agree, right? Because if you think this thing's a bit broken with a full mag, then you think the Somewhat SM, what is that, right? Because the Somewhat SM with a full mag, right, shoots around about the same intraclip reload, has 2 more shells and does 300 alpha, right? This thing with a full mag is not broken, okay? This thing has been, I would say, balanced. It doesn't need its gun handling touched, right? The one thing that it needs is just a little bit less of a long reload, right? That's all that it really needs. It's not an OP tank. It's not a game-breaking tank. And the problem with World of Tanks at the moment is that you have so many good tanks in it, right? And when you see a less than average tank, you notice it immediately, right? So many people are going to be quick to say that this tank is useless, right? Because of the long reload. But the fact is that this thing is balanced. Yes, it doesn't need as long of a reload, right? But this thing is balanced to the point where it's not broken, it's not OP, it's kind of just okay. And we don't actually have a kind of tech tree heavy autoloader for the Americans. Like, you can say the T69 is there, but it's not really a heavy tank, right? So honestly, this is probably how an American autoloader heavy tank would look like in a tech tree. It just needs a little bit less of a reload. So I would say this tank is completely fine. There's nothing, you know, game breaking about it. And yeah, it's a good tank. It just needs a few tiny tweaks. But yeah, let's quickly go and have a look at what we actually done in that game. Okay, so obviously it's a mastery badge. I mean, you knew that before even going into the game. 3.9k damage. We got a lot of credits. That was because we had the I think I had a credit booster running at the time. I don't even know. But we also completed a mission at the same time, so there's that. But yeah, like, this tank is it's a good tank, right? Don't get me wrong. I've been critical of it, and I think I'm so critical of it just because it's in loot boxes, right? If this came out normally, then, like, it wouldn't be as bad as I've kind of made it out to be. The problem with putting it in loot boxes is that people are going to waste money trying to get this thing. And I need to tell you exactly how good or bad this tank is. It's not worth it to go through loot boxes. 100%. 100% not worth it. Do not waste your money to try and get this tank. If you want to open loot boxes, by all means, but don't do it to try and get a vehicle. It's not worth it. I've opened 55, got 3 premiums. But for you, it might be, you know, you open 70 and get none. It's just completely luck of the draw. And it's not worth it to open loot boxes to get a tank. Especially when tanks like the T76 are still in the game. And still available to purchase for gold. So, that is my final opinion. That has been my review of the T77. Hopefully you did enjoy it. Hopefully you found this useful in some way. And if you did enjoy it, then please click subscribe, like the video, come and join the Discord, because that is where you'll find all the updates for what's going on in, well, in my life, I guess. I don't know why you would want to know about my life, but there you go. Where you get updates for like when I go live on Twitch and new videos are up and whatnot. So yeah. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.